In this video, we'll be discussing some basic commands in MySQL. Okay, so let's start right away. First, to access MySQL, you have to type this command MySQL space -u space root space -p, and you have to enter the password you have set up during the time of installation. Okay, so after entering the MySQL -u root -p and password, you will get a screen like this. Okay, welcome to MySQL monitor and so on and so forth. Now in this video we'll be discussing basic queries. So let us start with the first query. The first query we are going to discuss is create. Okay, now before creating any tables or entering data, we have to make sure that there should be an order, right? For example, we have to keep our books in a room. So that room is called library. Yes or no? So like how we store books in a library, we store the tables and the data inside a structure known as database. Got it? So how do you create a database? We can create a database by typing the command create database sample d, and remember in SQL after the statements you have to ensure that you add a semicolon. Okay, and if you haven't noticed in this statement, what is it telling? Commands end with semicolon or /g. Okay, so you can use /g as well instead of semicolon. So for the time being I am using semicolon. Okay, I have made one database. So I hope you have understood this command, how to create a database. Got it? And while explaining this command, I would also like to add this point that MySQL is case insensitive. What do I mean by that? See, whether I use capital or small. Okay, I will next tell you how to use the database. Okay, so before starting to create the table, we have to use the database. Therefore, you can give the command use sample db. So now you are inside this database called as sample db. Okay, if you have noticed, I used both capital and small. Yes, so no, still the query worked. And here I have used entirely small lowercase letters. Still the command runs successfully, which means whether you use capital letters or small letters, doesn't matter, SQL will give you the output. So this is what I have meant by the term case insensitive. Okay, MySQL is case insensitive. Got it? Now we will discuss how to create a table. So since we are discussing basic queries, I will be focusing on creating one basic table. Okay, we are not dealing with any tables related to applications for now. I will say create table. In order to create table, we have to use the command create table. Let us say books. Okay, now I have given the statement create table books. Now what all rows I need? So let's imagine you have a list of books with you. You have a serial number, you have the name of book, you can have the number of pages, you can have the cost of the book, and if you want you can add remarks, which is up to you. So I'm going to add the parameters. Let us say serial number, name of the book. So you should remember, when you write name of the book, you should not write like this. So I'll show you what happens if you write it this way. It is showing an error. What is the error? You have an error at SQL syntax. Okay, you have to check the manual. You will get an error code like this if you write the name of the book like this. So I will remove this, and whenever you're using space, ensure that you represent space in the form of underscore. Okay, pages and then price. Okay, and after the completion of the command, you have to ensure that the semicolon is in place. Okay, now when I press enter, okay, now what is the error to show? Serial number, name of the book, let us say total number of pages, serial number, name of the book, number of page, price. Okay, the mistake was that I didn't add any single inverted commas. Okay, so whenever you're adding the parameters, make sure you add the single inverted commas. Okay, like this. Now a table is created called as books. So that is regarding create table. And whenever you create a table, you add the parameters and also do not forget to mention their data types. Okay, otherwise you will get an error message like this. Now I have created a table. Now without inserting any data into the table, it is not of any use. Therefore, what I am going to do now is I am going to insert some name of the books. So I will say for that I use the insert command. Okay, insert into books. Okay, you can actually enter the command in one way or the other. Okay, I will say first I will show you one method. Serial number 1, let us say one night at the call center, and what all are the page numbers. I will say I'll just put something like 140 pages. Okay, the number of pages and price I am not going too much into it, and let us say the price is 250. Now I have added one data. Okay, okay, what I missed here was insert into books, and you have to add a word called as values. Okay, now let us see how the output comes. Yes, so this is how you insert into a table called as books. Okay, another way of inserting a value is you take some specific parameters, such as if you want to enter serial number, name of the book, and suppose I don't know the number of pages or the price. So what I can do is insert into books values. Now I'm giving it the value 2. I will say uh, 5 point someone. Okay, then I don't know the other things. Okay, so I don't know the price and I don't know the number of pages. So what I'm going to do here is I'll add the parameters here, serial number and name. Okay, what was the name? Okay, name of the book. So I will just put the up arrow and name of the book. So you have to be very careful while entering the parameters. Okay, now let us see. Okay, I have entered two values and now I want to see what I have added into the book table. Yes or no? In order to see what was written in the book table, you just have to use the command select. Okay, select all from. So star actually represents all. Okay, so when you say select star from books, you can see all the tables and the associated values present in it. Select star from books. I got all the records related to the book table. Now suppose I want to see the name of the book. Okay, instead of saying all or star, if I want to just see the name of the book, I just have to use the command select name of the book. So you got a table that shows just the name of the books. Okay, so in this video we have discussed how to create a table, how to insert a value into the table, and how to read those values. In the next video, we will be dwelling further into the SQL commands such as how to update a value, how to update a parameter. In this table, we are seeing null values here, so no. So we will see how to update this null value and how to remove a value from books. So see you in the next lecture.